So, Abby, where are we and what are we doing here?
We are at the King's College in New York City, downtown Manhattan. And
Downtown. So every city in America has a downtown, which they just think means the part with the tall buildings. What does downtown mean? Something in New York different?
Yes, it means towards the tip of the island, south.
The south tip.
Yeah.
Downward. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Specifically, we're in the financial district.
Yes.
On Broadway.
Yeah. So if we look really hard, we can see the what's it called? Stock Exchange.
Yep.
Right behind our building.
Yep. Federal Hall, Trinity Church, all those tourist locations. And we are recording a podcast for the Center for Hebraic Thought.
Yeah. Specifically, we were going through our FAQ page and thinking, this is kind of a new idea for a lot of people. They're going to go, what exactly is this? And so these are kind of one-off short episodes to address the questions that most people will have, that we could think of. I'm sure people have lots of questions
Certainly.
that we couldn't. And of course, you should email us if you want to, cht@tkc.edu, with other questions that we would not have thought of. Yes, so Jewish, why Hebraic thought and not Jewish thought, right?
Yeah.
So what's the inroad?
I could ask you, what's the difference between Hebraic and Jewish thought?
Could you sound more curious? Less matter of fact.
What's the difference between Hebraic thought and Jewish thought?
Well, I should be clear that for the Center for Hebraic Thought, we're using these words in specific ways that maybe not everybody uses these words in ways, right? So when most people hear Jewish thought, especially in universities, that's a whole department of people who will teach ancient rabbinic thinking from the Talmud, from the Mishnah, from the medieval rabbis, even up through Holocaust philosophers and philosophers who are even alive today. That would all be part of Jewish thought. And so when we say Jewish there, what we really mean is starting with around Second Temple Judaism, so maybe a few hundred years before Jesus, all the way up to the present. And it's the Judahites, which is why they're called Jews, who survived the exile, who returned to Jerusalem. And it's all the things that go into their thinking about Scripture, about life, about kosher, about sacrifice, everything. How to get along with other cultures, with other religions eventually is going to be a long discussion there. So we're a Christian institution, and I have no specialties in those. And most of the people we have a few fellows who will have specialties in those, Jewish fellows. But the goal is to reach Christian audiences with the thought of the Bible. So Hebraic in this sense means all the thought that's in the Bible before Judaism becomes kind of a formal thing. Now, some of my Jewish friends are going to go, but well, no, those were Jews in the Exodus, and those were Jews in in the nation under Solomon and David, and I know what they mean, but I think they would, they could go along with the larger point that actually the Jewish people as a particular kind of ethnicity and genetic line, typically we think of that beginning, even in the Bible, they're not called Jews until Ezra and Nehemiah, when the Judahites come back to Jerusalem.
Mm-hmm. You already touched on this a little bit, but why is this organization choosing to use the term Hebraic thought and not Jewish thought?
So part is just to disambiguate, to make it less confusing. We're not doing anything Jewish. There are tons of great Jewish thought institutes out there that are doing great work, that are fountains of infinite information about Jewish thought through the centuries and millennia. But there aren't many places, in fact, I only know of one other place in the world where they're actually studying the philosophical thought of the Bible itself. The Herzl Institute in Jerusalem, and then what we've started here, the Center for Hebraic Thought. I'm sure there are other people who are doing this. I know of other scholars that you'll be hearing on this podcast. There are certainly institutes that touch on these issues, but an institute that actually is set up to center its focus on the thought world of the Bible itself, that's unique.
Center for Hebraic Thought podcast. Be sure to subscribe, rate, or leave us a review wherever you found us. Want to learn more about Hebraic Thought? Visit our website at hebraicthought.org.